Good morning, girls. Am I audible
Good
to
morning,
everyone?
ma'am.
Okay. All right. So today we'll study entrepreneurial motivation. Okay. So did you all revise during the holidays whatever we studied? I hope you all kept in touch with the studies because by now you may have forgotten everything. I hope that's not the case. Hmm? Okay. So let's begin. Well, wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you all study very well in this new year. Let's begin. So, entrepreneurial motivation related to this topic, I have uploaded some notes as well because I couldn't find good notes in the book. So, I have uploaded some notes on Moodle. So, check those notes out and download them and note or study the part that is included in the syllabus that we will be studying. Okay, related to the topics, there are things in those notes that you do not need to study as well. Okay, so leave those out and only study the parts or the topics that are included in your syllabus. Okay, all right. So motivation, the term motivation is derived from the Latin word mover, which means to move. Okay. Motivation is the process by which behavior is mobilized and sustained in its particular direction. It is in fact impossible to determine a person's motivation until until he behaves or acts. Okay, so behavior or activity that a person performs is directly related to motivation of that person. If a person is motivated to do something, he or she will act on it or behave positively towards that activity. The motives of a person determine what are the intentions actually of that person related to the activity that we are discussing about. The motivation is an urge to or inducement. It or originates within an individual. It is the set of forces that causes people to behave in a certain way. Okay, so behavior of a person can be judged depending on the activities that he or she performs, and these activities determine what is the actual motive of that person. If a person's motive is to help you or behave, he or she will behave in a positive manner towards you, and if not, it will be the opposite. It concentrates on factors that arouse or energize a person's activity. Then, under motivation, there are various theories that have been given by various experts or thinkers. Like Maslow gave the need hierarchy theory. According to Abraham Maslow, behavior of a person or an entrepreneur is motivated by various needs, which are as follows. So every entrepreneur has various types of needs, okay, and these needs motivate him or her to become entrepreneur or to be involved in the business or act on them, okay. First is psychological needs, then safety. Psychological needs, it may include every psychological factor that will motivate a person, like becoming famous, okay, getting name, fame, popularity. All these things are psychological needs, or to prove to oneself that I can do it, okay, confidence. Safety and security needs, so becoming safe and secure from the point of view of maybe becoming financially secure or physically secure, alright, then or secured for the future. Then social needs, to establish oneself in the society, to get the respect of the society, okay, or benefits from society. Then self-actualization needs, this would include proving to oneself that yes, I can do it, yes, I have the ability, I have the capabilities of becoming an entrepreneur or doing a business. So when a person acts for himself or herself, it is included under self-actualization needs. And lastly, ego nulls. So ego nulls means to prove to one's ego, or to establish something that feeds your ego, okay. Now ego is not always a bad word. It is a bad word when you use it to dominate others or to act negatively towards others, okay. Then next theory is McClelland's acquired needs theory. So according to David McClelland of Harvard University, USA, a person acquires 3 types of needs. Now this person, Maslow, gave some needs. He said these are the needs that are seen in the behavior of an entrepreneur, okay, or which motivate an entrepreneur. But McClelland gave another needs, 3 type of needs, any type. In other words, the needs are the results of life experiences. These needs are, firstly, need for affiliations, which imply the desire to establish and maintain friendly and warm relations with others, okay. So need for affiliation means getting in touch with others, having good relationships with others, okay. So maintaining friendly behavior and establishing relationship is the first need. Second need is need for power, which means the desire to dominate and influence others by controlling their actions and set of physical objects. Alright. So need for power is power can be achieved by various things, like if you are financially doing well, you have financial power. Now power can be to do something or to fight the wrong. It can be to establish yourself as a good businessman. Then power can be political power, it can be physical power, it can be emotional power. So power can be of various types, okay. But need for getting power is important, and it motivates the entrepreneurs to become more successful, because they while doing business or being involved in business, they realize that anybody who has the required amount of power with him or her can get through any problem. Okay, so need for power. Then need for achievement, which refers to the desire to accomplish something with one's own efforts. So need for achievement is very self-explanatory. Okay, doing something to establish oneself, to prove to oneself and to the society that yes, I can do this, I have these abilities, I have this talent, I have these capabilities with me. Okay, so desire to accomplish something with one's own efforts. It is the urge to excel or will to do well. Okay, so when at home or even in school, when you may have experienced this, that when you could establish something by yourself, if you could do or solve a problem, maybe mathematics or anything on your own, it gives you a very good feeling about yourself that yes, I have done this without anybody else's help. Okay, so need for achievement. So these are the three needs that McClelland emphasized on. What are they? The need for affiliation, need for power, and need for achievement. Okay. Then next we come to the characteristics of motivation. What are the characteristics? Firstly, energetic force. So motivation is an energetic force or a force that gives you enough energy to accomplish whatever you want to do. Okay, so motivation is like a push or a driving force that will compel you on acting towards your goals. Okay, so energetic force. Then an internal feeling. So internal feeling means motivation you cannot express by your words, or you cannot show it to anyone. It is something that exists inside you. It originates inside you and it exists inside you, and it keeps on that it's sort of like a fire within, and keeps on motivating you or keeps on encouraging you that yes, you have to do this, you can do this. Okay, so it's like a constant energy or a force that is pushing you towards the achievement of your goals. So it is an internal feeling, not external. Then goal directed behavior. So whenever you are motivated, there has to be a reason behind the motivation. Okay, if you want to get good marks or good percentage in your class, if that is your goal, then you will be motivated to work hard, to attend all the classes, to do the homework, to revise after the class whatever you have studied that day. Okay, so your behavior is dominated by the motivation force. Okay, it drives you or it pushes you in the direction which would help you in achieving your goals. Then either positive or negative. So motivation can be positive or negative, means either it can compel you to do something or it can compel you not to do something. If you feel that some whatever has been asked of you or whatever you are being forced to do is not right, you will not do it. That is negative motivation. Then person in totality, not in parts, is motivated. So motivation, when a person is motivated, he or she will be motivated fully or entirely, not in sections or in parts. Okay, like the physically, if he that like he is physically motivated and mentally is thinking of something else. No, that will not be called motivation. That will be called forced to do something. Okay, motivation encourages you to use all your energy, all your abilities to actually accomplish whatever you are doing. Then individuals differ in their motivation. So one person would differ in motivation from another person. I like I may be motivated by financial benefits. Okay, other person would be motivated by maybe say recognition or acknowledgement of the work that he or she is doing. Okay, so everybody has a different set of activities that motivate him or her. Okay, so everybody's motivation is different from others. Motivation is not always conscious and visible. So it may be possible that you're not even aware that you are motivated by something, okay, and you're acting in that way. All right. So motivation can be known or conscious or unconsciously. You may be motivated and you may not be aware that you're motivated to do something. Okay. Then motivation changes. So motivation can change from time to time depending on the type of circumstances you are in. Maybe earlier you were motivated to earn more and not be recognized, and now you are motivated to be recognized more and not and the financial benefits don't matter that much. Okay, so motivation can change from one thing to another. It depends on the circumstances, on the surrounding, the environment, etc. Okay, then individual phenomena. So individual phenomena, it is not a collective thing. Okay, I may give the same speech or I may give the same lecture to a class of 100 people. Okay, but every person would receive my lecture or my motivation speech differently. Okay, some may be motivated by the things I say, some may not be motivated by the things I say. So it is an individual phenomena, means every person is individually responsible for their motivation or not. It is not a collective thing. Then more than mere technique. So motivation is not just technique. If you are motivated to do something, you will find new ways to do something, to that. Okay, so even if you may have seen in movies, whenever the actor or the lead role is very very eager or is forced to the extremes to do something, he or she will try and find different ways of doing it. Okay, so motivation is a mere it is not just technique of doing something, it will help you, it is a force that will help you to find or create new techniques of doing things. Okay, like if you want to ask your parents to get you a new mobile phone, you will find new ways to ask your parents or to make them happy in different ways so that they can be happy and give you what you want. Okay, so it is not just a technique, it is more than that. Then process oriented. So motivation is a process. You start being motivated or you can help somebody to be motivated, and then slowly that motivation will build on them. Okay, it will keep on increasing. Lastly, it's a complex process, so nobody can actually understand how it works. The same thing like money can motivate a lot of people, but there will be people who may not be motivated by money as much as others. Okay, so it's a very complicated process, and there's no surety that how you can motivate a specific person. Every person's type of motivation differs from the other. Okay, I may be motivated with by X, and somebody else may be motivated by Y. So there may be different reasons to motivate that can motivate every person. Alright, so these are the characteristics of motivation. Next we come to the objects of motivation. Now objects, or we can say objectives. Why do we need motivation? So we need motivation to submit employees to perform effectively. So employees will perform in their best of abilities only if they are motivated in the right way. That is why most of the employees are given financial incentives or rewards in order to motivate them, because a lot of people are motivated by money or monetary benefits. Then to channelize behavior into a specific course. If I want people to act in a certain way, I will motivate them to act in that way. Like if I want employees to perform or make the best products or produce, if they are in the production department, if I want to motivate them to concentrate on the quality, I will have to channelize their behavior to think that quality is very important. I'll have to tell them, I'll have to show them the things that affect the quality of the product. Then to understand individual motives, needs and aspirations. So an individual can be motivated by various things, as we discussed. Okay, so everybody's needs and motives or aspirations or aims differ. So we need to understand their needs or aspirations and give them what they want. If an employee needs more financial benefit, we give them that. If they need recognition, we give them recognition. To encourage employees to stay with the organization. Now every year the companies do something or the other for their employees which keeps them loyal to their employer. Okay, like once a year they get gifts or bonuses, or some companies celebrate their employees' birthdays in the office and give them sweets and some monetary rewards, etc. Okay, so these kind of things help them to be motivated to stay with the organization. Then to predict, to change, and even to control future behavior. So predicting what the future holds, to change, and to even control the future behavior. Okay, so how people will react to a certain thing, like if there is a change being made in the organization, the employer or the board of directors need to know that what may be their employees' reaction, and if it will be negative, how can they minimize that negativity. So they maybe offer, if they want to increase the working hours, they'll offer overtime benefits. Okay, they'll maybe give increment in salary. All right, so that will help them to control that behavior. Then to create enthusiasm, initiative and loyalty. To direct, enthusiasm means you could say eagerness. Okay, eagerness to do something, to the energy to do something, that's enthusiasm. Then to direct and sustain behavior towards the accomplishment of organizational goals. All right, so actually the main aim is this, to actually direct their efforts towards the organizational goals. This is the main objective. Then to effectively utilize the resources, which is financial, physical and human resource of the organization. So motivation helps us in using these resources. If the employees are motivated, they will help the organization in optimizing the use of these resources. Then to raise the morale and level of satisfaction of employees, and to build good human relations and teamwork. Okay, so these are some of the objectives that are served by the by motivation. Okay, why do we need motivation? So these are some of the reasons that help because of motivation. Okay, so we'll stop here today, and we'll continue on Monday with this. Has everybody written their attendance in the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.